If it's your first time here, if you like the content, hit subscribe if you want to get notifications for when we go live or post videos such as these or our watch list. Tap the bell, and if you want to join the UVH fam, links are below to our Discord, along with our free options trading group. What's going on, Jeff? How you doing? All right, we're gonna get things going over here. 1 second. I'm still battling a little bit of cold. How's everyone's day going? Today was I would say a little it was okay. It was overall, I would say, kind of boring today. Not much to move the markets. We're not really having any major news. The Fed event is over, and not really any earnings. The only earnings this week was like Adobe and FedEx, and not really a whole lot going on. Yeah, I got a little bit of a cold. But anyways, let's get going. Let's get into it. Yeah, I mean the S&Ps. I mean they closed flat. Dow's down. Nasdaq held green, which is kind of interesting, but pretty much gave up everything today. I mean, had the gap up and just the fade, which kind of leads to my first trade right today. So as you can see in my P&L here, you know, we had some good trades, we had some bad trades, but we came out on top. Came out on top with $120. I was up over 200 today, and gave some up in the afternoon. You know, currently I think overlooking past over like that last 8 weeks or so, the majority of the money that I've made was before noon. Yo, Billy, if you're here right now, say what up. I want to see who's watching. What's going on? So, you know, we had some good trades today, some bad trades today, and like I said, most of my trades that were profitable we took off this morning. You know, kind of getting into it here. Let's actually minimize some so I can go through my orders here. Now, one of the things that I do regret, I mean, I did come out of SPY with $5 today. It was a slow start here. So if you look here, yesterday I bought it for $1.22 after market close, so 8 minutes after market close. If you don't know, you can trade SPY up to 15 minutes after the market close. So if you forget to close a trade or you want to open a trade on SPY, you're able to 15 minutes after market close. So it goes to 4:15 Eastern time. And I'm Central time, so it goes to 3:15 Central time. So I opened it up at 3:08 Central for $1.22. And yesterday, if you guys remember, kind of missed it. This is I think overall just not a good trade anyways, because yesterday after the Fed event, we came down on SPY. Man, my tag is really itching me. We came down to 298 and then just ripped. And then I bought it when it was like in here, so I bought it for $1.22. And this morning we gapped up on SPY a little bit. You know, we were like at 301.50 and we went up to like 302 area. So when it touched 302, I knew that I overpaid on this. That Theta really took its handle on it when I was only up like $5. So then I closed it, and thankfully I did, because I think yo Derek, what's up? I think that SPY position is now down. If we look at those, let's see here. If we look at those 301 calls for tomorrow. Yeah, I mean the 301 calls are only going for 29 cents right now, and I sold them for $1.27. So, you know, that's how you know. So if you this trade's a good example, because if you realize that you overpaid for something, there's no reason to try to make it work. Get out with what you can, take the small profit, take the small loss, and then you can realign yourself. There's no point in trying to make it work. I mean, let's see what high a day on this was on SPY. Let's see. So if you know that you've overpaid, don't try to force it, because most times it's not going to work. Yeah, I mean, this did go up to like $1.60 $1.60 area. I sold at $1.27. So I sold in here off this first pop. So I sold at 8.33. So three minutes into open. So 3 minutes into open, I knew that I overpaid for premium. So I took it, and then it came down a little bit, but overall it went up a little bit. But you know, I was actually afraid that we were going to drop sooner than this. Like right in here, I thought we were going to drop down to like 301, 300 area, but then we continued higher until this morning, like later morning, where then it started to get really aggressive. Yeah, Billy, that's why you do sell. We sold. You know, making only $5 on the trade, or even losing $5 on the trade, is better than losing 50% on the trade. You know. Going into the next trade, cost we lost a little bit of money on. Guess I got a little. So Costco got downgraded this morning, and it was a small loss. And you know, looking at my losers, I mean, they were the one thing that I will say today is that I had control of my portfolio. I didn't let huge wins. I didn't allow for huge losses either. I did lose $30 on Costco. I bought it for $1.70. Bought it for $1.65. Sold it for $1.35. So I felt like I had really good control, even though some of these trades did get away from me. You know, I opened this trade on Costco. Costco's trying to recover here. On at 9.52. So I opened it. Sorry, 8.51. I opened it. I opened it right in here. I should have sold. I was actually thinking that it was going to go down to like 84, 83 area, and it came down to 284.71. I was up like 20%. Should have took the money, because as you can see how quickly this reversed, and then I got a loss. So I sold it at 9.52. So thankfully, I sold it right before this big green candle opened up. I sold it right in here when it was coming up to like 285.50. Excuse me. Sorry guys, hope that's not too loud in the mic here. I'm fighting through. Even though we're sick, we're still trading. So you know, thankfully I saw that this reversal was going to happen, and I got out with a small loss. I thought we were going to kind of continue down. I thought we were going to push up and then come back down and have a little bit of reprieve and come back down. But then once it was stabilizing in here, I thought there was a good chance that this would reverse, and then it did reverse. I mean, still right on the day, still down $4 on the day. So this is definitely something I'll be looking in tomorrow. But you know, we gave up. I've been milking Costco pretty good, so to give up $30 is not that bad on it. So I'm glad that I stayed disciplined on it. I probably should have switched over to calls right afterwards, because those like 285, 287.50 calls were doing all right. Twilio. So Twilio was my biggest gainer of the day. I had 2 back-to-back winning trades on it. Initially, Twilio had an upgrade, and what I say about it is that it on Twilio, I've been looking forward to break above like this 115 range in here. I have been trading a little bit down in here. It has been stabilizing. I wanted to see where it was going to happen, but Twilio above 115, I was leaning more bullish. I was kind of waiting for the shakeout to happen, because it did hit 117 pre-market, and then at open, first 15 minutes went from 117 all the way down to like 113.78. So I did wait. I did put my position on at 8.53, bought it for $1.20. So I didn't catch like the bottom, but at 8.53 I bought it for $1.20, and then at 9.04 I sold it for $1.92. We caught the spike. I had the 115 calls, you know, the 115 calls. So we caught it right in here, right on the way up. So that was the biggest trade for me today. And then I did have 2 of those. Then I bought a couple more of the. So I moved up to the 117 calls, and I only made, let's see, $8 on it. So made $4 per contract. I had 2 contracts. It was getting up here. Let me kind of zoom in here so you guys can see better. At 10:01 I put the trade on, and then at 10:14 I sold. Because it was looking kind of toppy up in here, and I was afraid that it wasn't going to push higher. The one thing that I have learned about Twilio since trading it is that it tends to disappoint. So, I got out of that. I had the 117 calls. We made a $4 profit. But the one thing about Twilio, though, is also it's a little choppy. Good thing I got out. They're only like 40 cents now. But you can see that I sold up in here when it was at 10.14. So I sold right in here when it was like 97 cents right before this next candle opened, and this was like the high of the day, $1.09. Like well, I mean at open it was higher, but this was the second high of the day here, and then it never came back up. That's why it doesn't pay to hold sometimes, and it just dropped. It just dropped like a rock on Twilio. I don't know if anyone here traded Twilio. If you're here right now, say what up. So I will be looking to trade Twilio tomorrow. We'll kind of see what happens with Twilio. Roku made a little bit of money in Roku as well. I did buy some calls in there. Now this was Roku, I think, was a bit of a dangerous play at the time, just because yesterday was a big losing day for Roku. At 8.57, I bought it, the 133 call for 225. I was really trying to capture this move right in here. So at 8.57, so I made this within 10 minutes. At 9.07, I sold. So at 8.57, so right before the start of this candle right here, we had two green candles and it pushed up here, and that's why I sold. I sold right in here when it was like 133.25 or so. So I got it for 289. So it was a quick win. I should have bought a couple more contracts, but I was really afraid that it was going to fall, so that's why I took profits. And even now, let's see what that 133 call is going for. So I sold it for 290, and as you can see, this is even though it is higher now. So you got to be very mindful. They were taking out premium today, so I was watching the premium on both calls and puts, and they were sucking the premium right out. As you can see, even though it is higher than it was when I sold it, it is less money, because also tomorrow's expiration as well. So you got to keep that in mind. So if you're riding like at the money or near the money, right in the money, this is $1.34, $1.33.76, and I sold it for here. So that's why it's good. It's always good to collect your profits, because options inflate, they deflate. Sometimes it helps you, and sometimes in this case it hurts you. And today we were battling theta, and we got out. I mean, this is a pretty nice clean trade. Within 10 minutes, we made 30% or so. So, but you got to be mindful. Like Roku gives and take it away. If I held and it went from like $3 down to 70 cents, and then you most likely would have sold it here, cut losses, and then you would have been pissed at rebound. It's better just to take profits, and then you can rebuy that call if you want, or the put. Let's see here. The next one up was BYND. So BYND, I don't think I'm going to trade it for a little while. Not that I lost a lot of money. It just took a long time for it to do anything. I mean, I bought it at 9:15 and I didn't close it out till 1:17 p.m. And it was like the most boring trade. Yo, Daniel, what's going on? BYND was the most boring trade I've traded in a very long time. And the chart looks good. The chart looks good, right? But I put this trade on. I shorted the 152.50s at 9:15, so it was right down to here. I probably paid a little bit too much per premium, because this drop was pretty wicked from 156. Hold on. My voice, sorry guys. Sorry, be patient. Sorry, thank you. Sorry about that. So I probably paid a little bit too much for premium, was one problem, because it came down, and then right in here, right in here, it just took forever to get to where it wanted to go. I mean, it was going up just like pennies at a time here. It was pretty terrible. It'd go up, go down, go back up. And then it finally did crack down here. And I was up small. I was up like maybe like 10% on it. So I didn't take the money. And then it looked like it was going to have a reversal here. So then I took the money off. It was I took the trade off. Sorry, I sold it at 117. So right in here, right at the start of this candle, and then it ripped up here. Looking at those 152.50 puts, yeah, now they're only 80 cents, 70 cents. Yeah, as you can see, that it was just. It was a rough go. Probably should have sold. I guess I was up about 20% actually. So I was up 20%. Probably I should have taken off in here, didn't, and then. So this was an example of not taking the trade off and then losing. It doesn't look like it's going to come back around. So BYND was also a little bit of a risky trade because they were also upgraded today, but they, crapped the bed. They did close green though, up 93 cents. Oops, I don't know why I opened this up higher. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had quite a few trades today. We did BYND. Home Depot. Home Depot's next. Home Depot. Then we got Tesla, and we have FedEx. Home Depot was a pretty nice win, pretty easy trade. Bought it for 93 cents, sold it for $1.16. So, we made about 25% on that trade. Home Depot was pretty interesting to me in general today because it's been having trouble around the 231 area the last couple of days. So I traded it a little bit yesterday. I'm trading it today. As you can see here, yesterday when I was hitting like 231.50, it dropped. Then pre-market was 231.50, and then it dropped, and then I put a trade on at 944. So right in here when it was trying to, let's see here, right. This is a pretty quick trade. Within 20 minutes, I took the trade off. So, I should have probably put it on in here, but I wasn't sure. And then on this candle in here when it made this rejection, I put it made a run up to 230.70 just as kind of squeeze some people. People probably thought that it was going to reverse back up to like 231. But that's kind of why I waited to see what would happen. And then this candle actually closed lower. So then I opened it right before this candle started right here. So at 944, so right here, I opened it up and then it came down and I closed it at 1004 right on this candle. And, we made a quick 25%. Thankfully we sold, but those are now trading higher because I had two of the 230s. Yeah, I sold them for $1.16. They're now going for, last trade price was $2.13 on them because Home Depot is now lower. So we did capture a piece of it, but it definitely doubled in price. This would have been a sweet trade. Looking at it here. We'll see if this makes another high here. If it does, we're going to potentially see like the 220 area, I think. So, we'll see what happens with Home Depot. But I'll be looking at trading this tomorrow because it is moving for this stock. It is moving rather nicely. On both sides. You could have made money yesterday, shorting and going long. Obviously, yesterday was pretty dangerous, but you could have. All right. Let's see what else we got. We got Home Depot, Tesla. So Tesla, we lost some money on. We lost. Let's see here. So it's a little tricky what we did here. Lost $63 on Tesla today. So this was just kind of overall stupid. Initially, I had the 245 put that I bought and sold for break even, within 10 minutes. And I probably shouldn't have traded Tesla overall today because the chop, if you're looking at this trade here, the chop was just really too real. It was up, it was down, it was up, it was down, up, it was down. Overall, it did end up $3 higher on the day, but most of that was due to it gapping up. Intraday, different story. Intraday just kind of, if you're looking at it here, if you're trading a chart like this, I probably shouldn't have. Knowing that the morning was like this, I probably shouldn't have gotten out. So, but anyways, I did attempt because I thought it's been hitting this like 247 area last couple days. So in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it was hitting it a bunch of times a day and getting rejected. So I thought, okay, if it hits it again and cracks, which it has been doing, but this time it held on. The one mistake that I made was during the execution of this trade was actually the actual order. I put an order in initially for 4 contracts at 53 cents. Only one got filled, and then immediately jumped up to 62 cents. And I did fill that. I probably should have just not filled that order and left it at just the one contract getting filled. But obviously, I chased and got burned and ended up selling them for 44 cents. You know, they did come down on this move here, but I thought I was gonna revisit like the 245.50 area, 245.60, and then it bounced. So as soon as I started making this reversal, I sold. You know, those were going for the 242.50s. They did close up at 50 cents. So yeah, this is just a bad trade. I mean, it's hard to trade when it's this flat. I mean, I sold them for 44 cents. I caught near low of day. I mean, just terrible. It's terrible all around. So it's just not a good options trading chart intraday. If you caught the gap up, you would have made some money, but intraday not good. You know. And then our baby FedEx. So FedEx actually closed for a loss of we lost $69, which I did recover some of the money. In this case, overall, I made money on RHI calls. Nice, Tobin. Overall, FedEx was not that it was a bad trade. It was poorly executed on my part. So the issue with FedEx, let me bring it up here. The issue with FedEx is I traded it yesterday. I put the position on thinking it was going to move higher, which it did. However, when I put that position on, the premium was still relatively high. And as you can see, like today, implied volatility got crushed, and which made us lose more money. Also, it took forever to get anywhere today. I mean, on FedEx, it was really, really choppy in the morning, and then slowly made its way up, and then we kind of hit it up here. But at the end of the day, it was a losing trade just because it took so long to get to where I wanted to go, and I put the trade on too early. You know, I thought yesterday it was going to make a move like in here. It was looking like it was stabilizing, so I put the trade on, and then I thought it was going to maybe go up to like 151, 152, try to get some gains back, and then it failed. It did try to go back at the end of the day. I probably should just close it out, and I probably should listen to myself saying, hey, no more swing trading strangles. In this type of market, it has not been paying out. So if anything, I'm going to short strangles because I've been giving away money anytime I swing trade strangles. I mean, thankfully we're able to get the money back intraday, but you know, what's the point? I mean, I swung this trade and I lost $70. So, you know, if you're doing something that's continually causing you to lose money, stop doing it. It's not that you have to reverse or do this or do that. Just stop doing that, and then you'll make money. So I haven't been doing a lot of swing trades, but the last 4 or 5 swing trades I've done in the last month haven't really paid out. I think the last swing trade that I had was Nvidia a couple weeks ago that paid out, but that was it. So I'm going to, you know, it doesn't matter what your strategy is. If the market changes, I mean, certain strategies pay out for a long time, and then the market changes and that strategy doesn't pay out anymore. So you kind of always have to shift, move with the market, and always like test new things, test what works. I mean, your strategy might be good now, but you can always refine it. You can always make it better. You know, you got to let me know about KO. Yeah. Okay. So that was my last trade. That I was going to cover. I'll look at KO. I mean, KO looks like it wants to make another run for 55 here, but you know, right like 54.75, I'd be a little bit worried because we have a couple tops here, 54.70, 54.75, a couple failed attempts here. I mean, it has recovered. I think the trade would have been if we would have bought it at like 54 and have bought the at 54.50s. I think this would have been the trade. Let's see what these 54.50s going for. So yeah, they hit a low of 8 cents, went up to 22 cents here at close. So you could have bought these for 10 cents, sold them for 15 cents, you know, to get a piece of this move. I'd be a little bit concerned about this 54.70, 54.75 area. If you're up 50%, 40%, take the money. You know, if it doesn't break here and you're up 40%, just take the money. That's what I would do. And then Roku, like I was saying, it's kind of hard. Like for me, for Roku, it's hard for me to gauge what Roku's actually worth. We are bouncing in this 130 area. I don't know if we're gonna. There's a lot of scared money right now because we literally. It took, you know, a month or two to get it up from 100 to 176, and it only took 2 weeks for it to get down to 130. So, I would say just be careful. I mean, you know, it took. The thing is, it could be any news article, any news piece. Right now, the streaming wars are heating up. You know, we got Apple, we got Netflix, we got all these things, and Roku, you know, Roku offers hardware and they offer a platform, but they don't have like any original content or anything. You know, I think that'll be a good one to. I think it'll be a good one. It's going to be a good one to trade for a while, but I would ideally like it to close this gap in here at some point. But I don't know if that's. You know, the things that are scary about this, when it goes from 150 down to 140 like in a day, you might have a couple of days of dead cat bounce. Like if you're looking at some examples of like a dead cat bounce, you know, if we're looking at SPY, like in here, it dropped, came back up, and then dropped again, you know. So for Roku, sure, it could go back up to like the 150 area, but it could also just be like a dead cat bounce, so we could go to 120, 110 area. So I say you just gotta use caution when trading Roku, because both sides do win. I mean, if you traded both sides today, you could have made some money on the way up, which I did. You could have made money on the way down from 134 down to 130, 129 area, and then you can make money again from 130 to 134. So I think for intraday, both sides could win. Yesterday there was no chance to win on calls, but most days, if you look at Roku, most days, you know, you can buy puts and buy calls, and you know you can make money. There's a lot of opportunities pretty much every day on Roku. You just kind of have to pick a side and stick with it, and then if it goes against you, you know, you also got to. The one thing that I've learned about trading Roku is you also can't get in sway. Like if you're chasing puts on these kind of candles, you're gonna get burned, and then if you're chasing calls on these kind of candles, you're gonna get burned. You kind of have to wait for it to like level out a little bit, and then put a smart position on and see which way it's gonna go. Because there's also a lot of fake outs too. Like on this chart right here, you know, even though it came down, people thought it was gonna go skyrocket back up. It went up, came back down, probably faked some people out. So, you know. It fakes people out as well. So you just gotta stay disciplined. And also, if you're trading Roku, like when I trade Roku, I don't trade like a big sizes, because you can definitely get screwed easily. What are you using right now? Arizona's brother. I'm on the Thinkorswim platform, and I'm using Tastyworks to trade on. Billy, I'm going to be doing a watch list video that's going to be dropping tonight at 9 p.m. Get in the mood, so I'm gonna take a break, give my voice a chance to catch up. You know, if you guys like this content so far, I definitely appreciate it if you hit the like button. If you're watching this after the live stream, and if you watch to the end, comment below. Watch to the end. I want to know who you guys are. Appreciate you. As always, stay safe, stay green. It's us versus herd.